Hello, Ravens. This week's notes are on writing terms for our survival synthesis writing practice. And these terms are used when we talk about synthesis writing regardless of the topic. It's just that the topic this week is survival. Synthesis is using two or more sources to support a position. Now, for the district writing assessment in the spring, you will be asked to analyze several sources. Remember that analyze means to examine closely, and you can look back at your yellow packet for review of that word. But after you have analyzed several sources, you will then take a position on the topic and use at least 3 sources to support it. Now, your position is the side you are on. If we take the topic for as an example, do you think cell phones should be allowed in school? However you choose to answer this question, whether yes or no, that is your position. Notice that your position can be on either side and that the question is something that can be debated or argued. An example from our story and our article that we have read, the skills essential to survival, are mostly mental. Now, Lawrence Gonzalez argues this in his article, Habits of Highly Successful Survivors. It's his position. But there are others who would argue that mental toughness is not enough. For example, Rainsford in The Most Dangerous Game survives not only because of his mental strength, but because he has a lot of other skills, such as knowing how to set a trap, how to swim, etc. Let me correct that right there. Okay. A non-example of a position would be Rainsford jumps off a cliff in order to get away from the general and his hunting dogs. This is a statement of fact from the story. Rainsford actually does this. This fact could be used to support the position that Rainsford survived because he possessed other skills, such as knowing how to swim. But it is not a position in and of itself. Now, support is a quote from the text that is used to prove your position, something from the text that shows you are right. A quote does not have to be something a character or a person says. It can be any line or lines from the text. Evidence is another word for support. It can be any part of the text that you are using to prove your position. So evidence can be statements made by characters or people interviewed that are in quotations, statements that are made by the author that are not in quotations, and they also can be facts or statistics that are in a graphic in the text. So now let's get ready to write. What do you think? I'm going to give you a position statement. The skills essential to survival are mostly mental. Do you agree or do you disagree? If you agree, your position statement may look like this. The skills essential to survival are mostly mental. You can see that it's the exact same statement. Now let's take that same statement and now we disagree. If you disagree, your position statement may look like this. The skills essential to survival require advanced knowledge of basic survival. Or it could be a combination of the two. The skills essential to survival are a combination of mental toughness and knowledge of basic survival. Now support your position. What examples from the Habits of Highly Successful Survivors could you use to support your opinion? What examples from The Most Dangerous Game could you use to support your opinion? Cite your sources. Now that you are using more than one author, your citations must contain the author's last name as well as the line number. Okay? And we talked about this the other day, but just to review, for The Most Dangerous Game, that's written by Connell, so we would put Connell, comma, and then the line or lines. And then Gonzalez for the article Habits of Highly Successful Survivors. And notice too that citations go at the end of the sentence. If your quote is at the end of the sentence, then the citation will go immediately after the quote. But if your quote is embedded in the middle of your sentence, then you have to go to the end of the sentence to put in your citation. So, next class period, we are going to use these notes to write a synthesis paragraph in support of your position. There will also be a Kahoot practicing these terms. When we practice the writing, I'm going to provide a choice of position statements and possible quotes in support, similar to what we did with the Amontillado writing practice. And then you will write your paragraph and embed your quotes. And we'll see you then, Ravens. Bye.